Well, good morning, friends. Happy Sunday morning. Out for a little bit of a sanity ride here. I haven't been on the bike for a couple of days, and thought I'd go out for a little ride before it gets absurdly hot. It's already 87 degrees, and humidity is probably over 70. So it's not all that pleasant, but any time on the bike is, is good. So I'm recording on the Insta360 1R, which is my 360 camera here, and I've sold the RS, the Insta360 1RS, because I think that the 1RS was a little bit too much for what I was using it for. I was just using it for the occasional 360 recording. I should close that. Yeah, I was just using it for the occasional 360 recording, and the 1R should be able to do that just fine. The only problem with both of those cameras is that they kind of overheat after a while, and so the RS, I was hoping was going to do a bit better job than the R, but it didn't. So yeah, I sold that one. That's going to help. The money from that helped to pay for the Insta360 Ace Pro, which is what I'm recording the front-facing camera on, point of view on. So yeah, we're out for a little bit of a ride. I've got an errand to do. I got to go to the pharmacy, but I thought I'd go for a nice little ride in this area here. Kind of pretty in here. There's a country club over there. But yeah, not so much traffic. I had to go through some traffic to get to here, but them's the breaks for me, where I live. I got to get out to where I am, spend some time getting to where I want to go, and wasting time. Such is the case living in Houston. Not a heck of a lot of good riding areas in the Houston area. You got to get out. Usually it's going north. You got to get out to the city, get out to the suburbs, and the one good thing about Houston area though is that you don't have to go very far before you see nice farmland type settings. The problem is traffic. There's usually traffic around, and you don't want that. Yeah, what's the latest? The latest is on the channel is I've made some more investments. So as you know, this Insta360 Ace Pro is the latest MotoVlogging change, and then I got a new helmet, an adventure style helmet, which I'm still testing more or less. I did a first review, first unboxing type thing, and since then I've installed the comm system into it, and I'm yet to put a MotoVlogging setup on it, because I want to make sure that I kind of like the helmet enough that it would go on a long distance trip. You know what I'm saying? Only a helmet that is good enough for a long distance trip would get a MotoVlogging setup for me. It's got to be worthy of or it's got to be able to ride for a whole day. And if that's the case, then yes, I can plop the camera on it, because that means most likely be touring with it. So far, I think that it's doing a fairly good job. The cheek pads are breaking in pretty good. Since I put the helmet communication system in it, it's been a little tighter to go on, so it's been a little bit more uncomfortable that way. But I think that's calming down. The biggest problem that I'm finding with that helmet is I'm getting, with the windscreen in the low position like this, I'm getting a little bit of buffeting, just a little bit. And I mentioned this before, it does get a little tiny bit of buffeting. But then today I'm wearing the Shoei RF 1400, and I notice a little bit of buffeting as well. So you know, it's probably not the helmet's fault. It's the windscreen. But I just didn't notice it before on the Shoei. But since getting the Scorpion helmet, I noticed it a bit more. Probably because my neck is a little bit more achy, you know. I've been trying to ride with that helmet every day going to work, just to break it in. So my neck is, you know, seeing a bit of strain. I guess from the very slight buffeting. I only work, the distance to work is about half an hour. But in that time every day, morning and evening, you know, it's enough to put some strain on my neck, I guess. And as a result, my neck is a little bit tired until it builds up the strength to withstand that. You know, I'm going to get some fatigue in my neck muscles. And today, with the Shoei on my head, and the Shoei is very comfortable, it's the gold standard for me. I'm still noticing a little bit of fatigue on my neck, so it's probably the fatigue from the Scorpion that's you know, that I'm feeling. But yeah, look at them. None of them got any jackets on, and they're riding on the road. I mean, you know, it really, you know, I can't believe how people can do that. You know, it's like, don't they realize that if they go down even at 5 miles an hour, they'll get problems? Jeez, makes no sense. Anyway, yeah, so back to what I was saying. Insta360 Ace Pro. This is my go-to travel camera, and my MotoVlogging camera, and all kinds of things, you know, except for like photography itself. This is the camera I probably end up using the most. This one and my iPhone, who knows. But I also made a change lately to my audio setup. For the last few years, I've been using a Saramonic Blink system, and I decided to upgrade to the DJI Mic 2, which is a wireless microphone system, and largely because it's got active intelligent noise cancellation. It's got that, plus it's got 32-bit float, which I won't get into that here. But the main thing is the noise cancellation. And as you know, I do a lot of videos in my garage as I work on my bikes. And in the summer months especially, I've got a fan going for the brief time that I can stand it in that garage, you know. So I've got a fan going, and the fan noise is in the background. Similarly, when I'm shooting in my office, in front of the computer or whatever, I've got an overhead fan plus an auxiliary fan, plus occasionally the house's air conditioning kicks in. So I need something to kind of knock out that noise right at the source, and that's what the DJI Mic 2 comes in. It does a great job of knocking out the background noise. So yeah, spent a lot of money on that, but hopefully my audio will sound better. So that's the latest on the equipment front. In terms of rides and stuff like that, nothing much has changed. I still got the ride scheduled for September. I forget the dates, but September we're going to be going to meet up in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and do a ride there. I'm still in two minds whether to take the Tiger or whether to take the BMW, but either way it should be a good outing. There is no Thrills in the Hills for this year. I think they've kind of stopped it. I don't know if it's going to come back at some later time. I hope so, because we really like, even my wife likes to go to Carville on the bike. It's a nice little weekend trip, but that's not happening this year, at least not with the MOA. Maybe we'll do it on our own, just to go to Carville and, you know, ride around the hill country for a while. You never know. Aside from that, we've got a holiday trip planned to Canada. We're going to be staying in Toronto and also in Newfoundland. So that's coming up soon. So not a heck of a lot on the channel. Videos, I keep putting out videos, various videos. Lately I've got this series of videos where I'm trying to get my auxiliary lights as well as my horn working back again, and because there was a failure of the CanSmart controller that I had, the Denali CanSmart controller, and I can't figure out what happened. It just up and stopped, you know. The LED wouldn't even come on the controller itself. So and the guys at Denali Electronics, sounds like they never heard of a controller failing like that, so they didn't know. So anyway, so that series is about to, the third episode dropped today, and then the fourth and last episode will drop next week Sunday. So come on, guy. Yeah, in terms of the Tiger, I don't have anything to do with the Tiger right now. I mean, she's just passed about 1,000 miles after its 6,000 mile service, so no servicing for a while. I don't have, my plans for this Tiger is either to trade this Tiger on the 2024 Tiger or to outfit some Denali Electronics auxiliary lights and sound bomb horn and auxiliary brake light as well. But I'm in two minds whether to go ahead and do that or whether I'm going to sell the bike. So until I make that decision, no further work on the Tiger. The Tiger itself is working beautifully. It's a great bike. No complaints at all. I'm yet to go off-road in it, and I'm not going to do that in this stupid hot weather. We are now in June, just about almost finished June, and it's, as you would expect in Houston, getting hotter and hotter and hotter and hotter. So, you know, I'm not going to go off-road riding, which in itself is a little bit, you know, physical. I'm not going to go do that in the heat of summer. No. So most likely this bike wouldn't see any kind of off-road riding until the fall, until it cools down a bit. That's pretty much the latest I can say about things going on in the channel. Hopefully this camera is still recording. Yep. Oh, and another thing that I was, I'm supposed to go right here, I believe. Yeah, so like I said, I've upgraded my vlogging camera to this Ace Pro, right? As you know, I do have a GoPro Hero 11 Black, which was my main vlogging camera for a while. But that camera was no different. I bought that camera in the hopes that A, battery life would last longer, and B, it would be more reliable in terms of not locking up without warning or anything like that. But that was a disappointment in the sense that the very first time that I ever used the GoPro Hero 11 Black, other than a test, you know, testing it out in my house, just after I got it, the very first time I used it was on a camping trip, and it locked up. So talk about disappointment. I mean, you know, it locked up right off the bat. And it wasn't even overheated. I just come out of my RV and I was going for a walk and turned it on. It recorded for about 3 minutes, and then after that, whoop, it just locked up. I had to pull the battery to get it restarted. So I've given up on GoPros. I think that they're, yes, they've got nice picture quality, certainly got good audio as far as I could tell. But aside from that, they're useless. You know, they've been living off of their hype for too long, and I think that they're getting their ass kicked now. Insta360 is kicking their butts, and DJI, the two cameras that are the choice for any kind of vlogging or action cameras or anything like that, is the DJI Action 4 and the Insta360 Ace Pro. That's it. Those are the two cameras. Some people like to use the Insta360 X4 for that, but I don't like the form factor of that camera. Plus, you know, this camera here, this Ace Pro, has got a lot of other features that make more sense for me. So that's why I got this one, for example, over the DJI Action 4. But yeah, so far it's not even locked up once, and it has always been reliable. This Ace Pro is so much better than any GoPro that I've ever had. Look, it's still recording, and you can see that big red light in front. Of course, it's got the flip-up screen, so you can see. What's he doing there? You can see, if you're vlogging from the front, you can see what you're, you can see yourself by just flipping the same beautiful big screen up. You don't have this little front-facing screen, you know. It does have a front-facing screen, but that just tells you, the recording parameters and that kind of stuff. So it's a great camera. I don't expect to do a review on the camera. There's 2.5 million reviews on YouTube, but I might do a review or I might do a video on why I chose this camera and over GoPro, and why it makes sense for me. So that video might be coming. I might do one soon. So that's the only thing that I would talk about on that camera. Think this idiot saw me? Drama up front. Traffic stop or accident or what? Looks like an accident. I'm on the FM 1488 and I'm going to be heading to Walmart in the Woodlands. Just filled up with gas and my range is saying, oh, I need to go right here. Oop. My range is saying 240, which is quite optimistic. But if I keep at this fuel consumption rate, I should get that. Leave a comment in the description below. What's the best mileage you ever got on your Tiger 900 Rally Pro? I think I got just over 50 US miles per gallon, but that was rare. Typical good mileage for me is like around 47, 48 US miles per US gallon. So yeah, this one's kind of amusing to see 51.6, but then I just filled up, so it hasn't had a chance to average out yet. I'm gonna go to this Walmart because I like where I park at this Walmart. They've got a nice they don't have any motorcycle parking spots, as typically the case with over here in the United States. Unless you go to a motorcycle store, you won't find any motorcycle spots anywhere. So people park creatively. And in this Walmart, there are a couple of really wide lanes between rows of parking, where they store the shopping carts. That's where I park. And since I'm on a ride, I think I can get everything that I need to get at this Walmart. And since it's got good parking, I'm gonna go there. Okay, so far this Insta360-1R has been holding up fairly well in this heat. It's 90 degrees now, so it's been sitting in the sun for the last, I don't know how long I've been out. And yeah, no, I haven't been recording steady. I've only been recording a few minutes at a time and then turning it off, turning it on, which is typically how I use it anyway. But in the past, a few times it has locked up on me, and I was thinking that it might be the heat. But I've put in a really good card, SD card, and maybe that's it too, because I've also had the very first Insta360 Insta360X, I should say, that I got was the original, and I could never get on with that camera. I mean, it always used to lock up, and I kept buying different cards, different speeds of SD card, micro SD card, and none of them would work. So as a result, I sent it back, and I bought this camera here, the Insta360-1R, and that was much better than the X. But riding for a long time in the hot sun, that can lock up anything. And yeah, so occasionally it used to lock up and freeze. It used to look like it was freezing while it was trying to write the data to the card. So I don't know if it's the heat or if it's the card itself. But so far with this particular card, it's still working. So I'm really happy with that. Oop, I'm in the wrong gear. I'm busy blabbing. In the wrong gear. Okay, I need home and pharmacy, so I'm gonna go down this road. Actually, the place I need to park is over there in the next row. Yeah, somebody's got my spot. Ha! He's got the same idea. Yeah. Oh well. But he parks differently than I do. I usually park like this. I park right up in front of this post. So that way, I'm not blocking any traffic on either side. I guess he doesn't mind blocking the carts and stuff. Anyway, I'm gonna go get my stuff now.